Hello and welcome to the Zama Pulse. I'm Captain Richard Lupinski. Lieutenant General Omar Jones, Commanding General of the U.S. Army Installation Management Command, visited U.S. Army Garrison Japan team at Camp Zama with Command Sergeant Major Jason Copeland. Lieutenant General Jones said the main goal of his visit was to meet as many Garrison personnel as possible, including the soldiers, Department of the Army civilians, and local National Workforce members who comprise the team. And he said he had a special message for all of them.
First and foremost, to thank them. Thank them for their service, to thank them for all the things they do for that community and all the mission partners there. Secondly, we want to listen to them. We want to hear about the things they're proud of so we can share it across the rest of the command, but also what are the challenges they're having. So we can take those challenges back and hopefully we can help for that garrison, for the job they do to support the installation where they work and serve.
During the visit, Lieutenant General Jones and Command Sergeant Major Copeland visited multiple locations on Camp Zama in the Sagamihara family housing area, met and talked to hundreds of workforce teammates, and took the time to answer their questions.
The bigger takeaway was the professionalism, the commitment, the passion of the professionals that serve here, and what we saw in every facility we went to. Everyone we talked to was the positive effect. I mean, this is just an impressive installation. It is impressive what happens here. It's impressive the support to the missions across the board. But walking away after the visit today with just a great appreciation for the team and a very, very positive view of everything Garrison Japan does.
The U.S. Army Reserve Affairs Office at U.S. Army Japan recently hosted linguist training for technical reserve candidates from the Japan Ground Self-Defense Forces 117th Training Battalion. Training was meant to introduce the JASDF members with being linguists for bilateral operational support and to provide pointers on interpretation and translation.
It's really beneficial to have Army Reserve, U.S. Army Reserve soldiers training our Japanese counterparts and utilizing those lessons learned and learning that we both share the same mission and we're here to support each other.
To kick off the training, each JGSDF participant introduced themselves in their specialized languages, including English, French, Chinese, and Korean. Participants received briefings from U.S. Army Pacific Support Unit Forward Detachment Japan on issues such as military terms, translation, and much more. Additionally, they were divided into small groups and were given a variety of assignments from group discussions to practical exercises in which they translated typical office conversations.
初めてです。基礎的な英語力がまだまだ足りないなということと、あと翻訳というその英語から日本語、日本語から英語に変換する作業っていうのが聞いてわかる、読んでわかるだけじゃなくて、もっとまた一段階上の力なんだなと思いまして、練習が必要だなと思いました。
U.S. Army Garrison Japan's Yokohama North Dock recently welcomed the U.S. naval ship Carl Brashear, named after Master Chief Carl Brashear, who served during the Cold War and was the first African-American in history to become a U.S. Navy master diver.
Working in a joint environment allows for a lot of different interoperability opportunities that we otherwise wouldn't have. So Army and Navy were able to provide support between our warehouse and some of the Army facilities that they have. So we have additional resources available by being able to work together with our sister force.
The Carl Brashear is a dry cargo ship responsible for replenishing the Navy at sea. The ship's crew also has a history of supporting bilateral engagements in the Pacific Theater and was heavily involved in Operation Tomodachi, when crews transported over 800 pallets of humanitarian cargo and over 1 million gallons of fuel to supporting vessels. Nearly 100 students from a local Japanese elementary school received an in-depth look at life as an American student recently when they visited 5th graders at Arnn Elementary School on U.S. Army Sagamihara family housing area. During the visit, they took part in various activities such as working together on drawings, designing and building a computer program, working a challenge to stack cups using only string, playing a musical game, and much more.
なんかとってもフレンドリーで楽しかった。普段あんまり他の国のことをそんなに触れ合う機会なかったけど、今回触れ合えてよかった。
I think it's really fun and neat. We wouldn't be able to do this anywhere else, but here it's really fun to do that. I learned a little bit of Japanese language, like some words like miso or sit, some of those words.
The American and Japanese organizers created the cultural exchange program to allow their students to learn the importance of diversity and to build positive future relations between the students. It started with the American students visiting the Japanese elementary school in December.
やはりこうやって男性の皆さんと交流する中でいろんな文化とか日本との違いなどを学ぶことが今後生きていくことに広い視野を持つということで役立っていくかなというふうに思っています。
Soldiers assigned to the 10th Missile Defense Battery and the Japan Air Self-Defense Force's 21st Fire Unit took part in a leader professional development session to discuss different military occupational specialties in the U.S. Army and the Japan Air Self-Defense Force. Participants gave presentations about their jobs, hobbies, and different cultural sites in their home countries. Organizers said cultural immersion events such as these build understanding and strengthen the bonds between the United States and Japan. Soldiers assigned to the 14th Missile Defense and members of the Japan Air Self-Defense Force's 35th Aircraft Control Warning Squadron conducted a bilateral physical training recently at Kyoga Communications Site. During the event, they conducted a 5-kilometer run and completed a series of physical training exercises on the installation. After the PT, they enjoyed an American-style barbecue together. The bilateral PT program was meant to build relationships and share the knowledge of how soldiers train and maintain their physical strength in the Army. Camp Zama residents experienced an early February snowstorm that hit the Kanto Plain with a heavy blanket of snow and slush. U.S. Army Garrison Japan leadership sent a heartfelt thanks to the workforce members and community residents who jumped into action to help clean the streets and sidewalks, making safety priority number one for the community. The snowstorm caused work delays and school closures and impacted travel across the Kanto Plain. U.S. Army Garrison Japan team members helped host the 2024 DoDEA Pacific Far East Division II Boys Basketball Tournament at Camp Zama in late January. 9 teams from across the Pacific played their games in the Yano Fitness Center, thanks to a lot of hard work by the Garrison's fitness team. Tournament organizers thanked the Garrison for ensuring a smooth and successful tournament for the players and their families. The Camp Zama Yano Fitness Center is strictly enforcing age rules for the safety of all patrons. Please see the graphic and ensure to follow the guidance of the fitness center staff. U.S. Army Japan community members packed the Camp Zama Community Club to watch the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers battle it out during the 58th NFL Super Bowl celebration. The MWR-hosted club event featured NFL cheerleaders from the Seattle Seahawks, Cincinnati Bengals, and Minnesota Vikings, who brought additional excitement to the event by signing autographs, posing for photos, and performing cheer routines. During their visit to Camp Zama, the cheerleaders also conducted a cheer clinic for base community and local Japan youth. The professional cheerleaders taught dance routines with a focus on the importance of exercise and a healthy lifestyle. The clinic also provided a chance for the participants, which included Zama Middle High School's award-winning cheer team, to meet and interact with the cheerleaders and learn of their journey on becoming part of the NFL cheer teams. Now we'd like to take a moment to spotlight our very own Zama Middle High School. For this recurring segment, we collaborate with the school's video communications class to highlight some of the school's activities and events in short, student-produced video segments. This month, Precious Pineda highlighted a student for exemplifying what it means to be a person of character at Zama Middle High School.
At Zama Middle High School, there are a lot of Zama-amazing students, but it takes someone special to live up to the ideals of our mascot, the Trojan. Senior Kanoa Ven is worthy of the label, a true Trojan. He wears many hats. During the fall season, he was on a football field. He was the starting defensive tackle. This winter season, he is on the mat as a wrestler in the 185-pound category. You may also see him with the JROTC battalion. He is the Bravo company commander. When we caught up with this busy 12th grader, he was rehearsing for his role as Gaston in the school's production of Beauty and the Beast. We asked Kanoa how he manages all of these commitments and make it work.
Well, I'd say it's not easy, but it's actually fun. A couple of things that I generally worked on was balance, so I can, handle different things at different times, prioritizing the right things at the right time, because sometimes there's some things that you'd rather work on than schoolwork. Then just knowing when you need help, because obviously sometimes you can't do this by yourself. And then knowing your limits, because if you go too far past what you're possible of doing, then you're not going to achieve anything.
For the second semester, Kanoa plans on enjoying the rest of his high school experience and preparing for anything that comes next in his senior year. And knowing Kanoa, Whatever he chooses to do, we'll know he'll give it his all. Hey! My name is Precious, and this is your ZEN report.
That's it for this month's edition of the Zama Pulse. I'm Captain Richard Lipinski, and we'll see you next month.